In 1997, United Flight 826, flying from Tokyo to Honolulu, hit clear air turbulence when passengers were moving about the cabin. Almost 100 passengers were hurt, and one woman lost her life.
Without any notice, all of a sudden, the plane just dropped.
Government studies and industry records show that in non-fatal accidents, in-flight turbulence is the leading cause of serious and minor injuries to airline passengers and flight attendants. The segment you have just seen reminds us of the potentially devastating results of an encounter with turbulence. Hi, my name is Eric Thomas, Chief Meteorologist at Channel 3 WBTV. As a native of Pittsburgh and a resident of Charlotte, I have an affinity for the family at U.S. Airways. Today, in an effort to protect the crew members and customers of U.S. Airways, I will spend a few minutes discussing turbulence, its causes, its effects, and its potential dangers. Did you know that over 2/3 of all reported turbulent events occur in cruise flight altitudes above 30,000 feet? Most turbulence at these altitudes is caused by the unpredictable tendencies of the jet stream. Strong winds in the upper atmosphere are like a flowing stream of water. Without obstructions, the stream flows smoothly. But when the stream is confronted with obstacles or opposing currents, a highly unpredictable environment is created. Disruptions in strong high-altitude winds may occur as these powerful rivers of air collide with mountain ranges or when they merge with other masses of air. To get an idea of the turbulence a jet stream or wind blowing through a mountain pass can create, settle down in a jacuzzi with the jets off. Then turn the water jets on. You have a very strong discontinuity in velocity. It generates a lot of turbulence. It feels good on your back, but wouldn't feel good if it were the air around your airplane. The most treacherous aspect of turbulence at these altitudes is that it is often difficult to predict and largely invisible, thus the name clear air turbulence. Clear air turbulence does not appear on the aircraft's radar. Clear air turbulence has the potential to be very extreme. Fortunately, modern commercial aircraft are designed to withstand all but the most violent turbulent events. Even so, every year one commercial aircraft is damaged extensively due to the effects of atmospheric turbulence. Clear air turbulence is a menace. Although it can strike anywhere, anytime, be especially aware of the dangers of this type of turbulence when traveling over or near mountain ranges. In the majority of reported turbulence injuries, the seatbelt sign was illuminated. Remember, ensure that customer seatbelts are fastened when the fasten seatbelt sign is illuminated. From 1981 to 1997, 73 of the 80 passengers who were seriously injured by turbulence were not wearing their seatbelts.
My name is Paula McAdoo. I'm a Philadelphia-based flight attendant, and I was involved in a severe clear air turbulence flight. It was a beautiful day, clear air, cruise altitude, and all of a sudden, en route, we hit something phenomenal. The plane dipped. It dipped enough to make me react in a way to make me grab onto the bottom of the seat rail, and after that the plane jolted upward. Everything went forward very fast, including myself, and I was, I like to say, somersaulted through the air about 2 rows. I landed in a passenger and her daughter, row 4, and I was injured. I looked distorted. My leg was turned sideways. I do remember that everyone that was hurt were passengers who did not have their seatbelts fastened. And there were at least 2 passengers standing in the back galley, and they were the most severe injuries. We landed, we made emergency landing, and there were 10 people admitted to the hospital. At least 3 people went into surgery, and it was pretty dramatic.
Drops of several hundred feet are common in clear air turbulence events. Now, in the event of severe turbulence, crew members must also immediately sit down and strap in if possible. If you are in the cabin and a seat is not available, get as low as possible and hold on.
I'm Brenda Thomas, a flight attendant out of Charlotte.
And I'm Purcell Davis, and I'm a flight attendant. I'm based in Charlotte also.
Purcell and I were on a flight from Charlotte to Baltimore when we had an incident occur where we started dropping out of the sky. Purcell and I had just finished serving a cabin on a 737-200. I'd stocked the cart. He had come back with the trash, and then unexpectedly the plane began to fall.
And I looked in the cabin and I saw just total chaos. There were bins open. Literally every overhead bin on the aircraft had opened that I could see. Bags were all in the aisle. There were literally nothing left within the overhead bins. They had all fallen out and dumped their contents within the aisle. Finally, it began to level out just a bit, and Brenda decided that she would go into the cabin and see if the passengers were okay. At that time, a deadheading flight attendant came back and assisted me in cleaning up the aisle. Initially, we were going to pass people's belongings back to them, and we finally figured out that this would have taken hours because the back galley was loaded with sodas, the contents of the cart, and the aisle was impassable. You could not walk up the aisle. When Brenda went up the aisle, she had to crawl over people's belongings.
One of the worst things that we saw while we were still on the jump seat in the back, a baby actually hit the PSU. And I remember the mother just grasping it when it fell back down to her arms. But I thought it was best I go and make contact with the people and look in their faces to see if they were okay. And of course something could have happened to them during that time too. Though fortunately, can you believe that everybody was sitting down? Everybody was buckled up. So we were fortunate in that respect.
Another cause of turbulence is convective weather. This type of weather may spawn thunderstorms and tornadoes. Although convective weather is most common in the spring and summer months, it can occur at any time of the year. Convective weather is characterized by powerful vertical air movements, both ascending and descending. As warm air rises into cooler air, the result is rough, choppy turbulence. Now, this type of turbulence can result in abrupt changes in airspeed and may even result in a stall at dangerously low altitudes. Fortunately, clouds are often associated with convective weather, and as a result, the pilots are usually able to navigate around it. However, in some cases, turbulence extends quite far from the clouds, and it can pose an invisible threat to airliners. Choppy, somewhat rhythmic jolts may be expected as you pass through or near convective weather. The rhythmic nature of this chop may lull you into complacency and result in severe injury or even death. Crews may be complacent during turbulence because it happens so frequently. Passengers may be complacent because they don't know about the potential dangers. With readiness, knowledge can replace complacency. A pilot will turn on the fasten seatbelt sign when he or she has the knowledge that turbulence lies ahead. Flight attendants can secure the cabin and themselves when notified soon enough of an impending encounter. Passengers can prepare themselves when told by the crew. In turbulent conditions, you are not immune to injury, so you should only move around the cabin when the flight deck crew has established that it is safe to do so. Remember, even in moderate turbulence, you should terminate all service and take your jump seat. Any type of turbulence could suddenly become severe. In that case, you are safest secured in your jump seat. In the pre-flight briefing, the pilots usually alert the crew of any reported possibility of turbulence. If you have questions about the likelihood of turbulence, ask the captain to discuss it in the briefing. Wake turbulence is caused by disruption of air as an aircraft passes through it. Typically, the larger the aircraft, the greater the wake turbulence that is generated. As an aircraft moves through the air, corkscrew-like flows emanate from the wingtips. A following aircraft flying into these zones of turbulence may be upset. Wake turbulence is thought to have been a factor in the sequence of events that led to the loss of U.S. Air Flight 427. The potential for injury in a turbulence event is very real. According to Larry Corman of the National Center for Atmospheric Research, quote, turbulence is the silent problem of the aviation industry. People don't usually die from it, but uncomfortable flights and even broken bones are more common than people realize, especially for flight attendants. On average, a significant turbulence event occurs every other day on a commercial flight somewhere in the United States. Records show planes suddenly dropping 200 to 300 feet vertically, hurling food carts up to the ceiling.
I had managed to get one arm in the jump seat strap and pull the jump seat down. I reached out and attempted to hold the cart, but it was next to impossible. A passenger in the last row had reached back and also attempted to help me hold down the cart. At this time, the cart was moving up and down so violently that between the two of us, we could not contain the cart. It went up, hit the ceiling, punched the light out in the center, and came down and punched a hole in the floor.
What can you do to lessen the danger? Be educated to the dangers of turbulence and communicate. Remember, when the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on, the flight attendants must communicate with the flight deck. The flight deck will communicate the reason for illuminating the seatbelt sign and should provide you with their best assessment of the upcoming flight conditions. No one is immune to turbulence. Even Air Force One encountered severe turbulence that led to the injury of one passenger while the president was on board. I hope this has shed some light on turbulence. Keep up the great job and be safe. Take care of your passengers and take care of yourselves. Hope to see you on a flight soon.